Hello. Today I decided to do a beginner's tutorial on Davinci Resolve. So you're going to go ahead and click it, open it up obviously. But soon, here's the confusing part. So you want to go down here to New Project. You want to name your project. Hit Create. That brings you to this window. Down here you have Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, Deliver. I only use Edit and Deliver at the end. So with Cut, up here you can import your media. That's importing one file at a time. You can import your folder, so it imports a whole folder into here so you can work with it. Or you can use my favorite method, which is dragging your files from the folder to the next screen. It's going to ask you if you want to change the frame rate. It has settings in here already, and it's set to 30 frames per second. I film in 60 frames a second, so that's why it's asked me if I want to change it or not change it for the project. And I want to hit change because I want to do 60 frames a second. So if you open here, where's that? Project settings. This is where you can change that. And it's already been changed to that. Your timeline resolution. This is what you're going to be using in the timeline, which you can change once you go to the deliver page. Now, here has importing up here. I use edit, which doesn't have that up here because I just drag and drop. So with edit, you want to take your clip up here and you drag it down here onto your timeline, and you have your stuff. This here is where you're at. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just ignore all of that. So this clip I want to start.
Hello, squirrels.
This is scrubbing backwards, scrubbing forwards. So I want to say hello squirrels right at the beginning. You can zoom in to your timeline here and go frame by frame. You can either go right when the sound starts or right before. So in order to cut this, right now I'm on the cursor. You have your razor blade. It's going to cut where the red is. If you get close enough to this scrubbing line here, it will snap to this red line. If you don't want it to snap, you take off the snapping tool, and then now you can get anywhere near it. I prefer to use the snapping tool, so I'll leave that on, and I will snap right there. Now it's cut. Go back to your cursor, select what you want to get rid of. So right now this is in red and selected. I right click. Ripple delete is going to delete everything in the red. Even if it's in the bottom or top of it, if you have like two videos on top of each other, it's going to delete everything. So you hit ripple delete. Now your video starts with
hello, squirrels.
What you want it to. That's a simple form of cutting. However, if you have a section that you're overlaying the video on, and you want to cut, say, this video here and here, and cut this middle section out, if you hit ripple cut, everything moves. And you can move it, just click and drag, you can move it where you want. The snapping tool works for this too, so it'll snap it here, it'll snap it here, it'll snap it to wherever you have this. If you don't want it to snap, undo the magnet, and you can precisely move it without it snapping. I rarely ever use the non-snapping tool because I'm always getting to the exact second in the video I want, hitting stop, scrubbing backwards. So like if I didn't want my hand in there, You can scrub backwards until it's not there. You can also go, obviously, zoom in closer and go frame by frame. Down here, scrolls. Okay, let's see. And when you hit plus and minus here, it always snaps to the red. So I don't want my hand in there. I would go back right there, and then I can cut it where my hand isn't. The other thing you can do, if you don't like a cut you did or you did something wrong, Control Z is going backwards. So let's just go undo a lot of the stuff I did. Okay. The other thing, this here is fading in and out. So if I want this to fade in, we'll start at nothing.
Hello, squirrels.
And slowly fade in. That's your fader. It also works for audio. And you can change. Oh, that's the volume. Which I don't want to change the volume. Go to audio. And you hit reset here. And that changes it. So when you zoom in, it doesn't make any of that bigger. I wanted to change this curve. There we go. You can change the curve. You go longer or shorter, which is great for bringing music tracks in slowly. If you want to make any of these bigger, you can go to here. You can change different settings on them. These are the settings I prefer. Video, you can change the height, which gives you better thumbnails. You can go low, kind of general like there. And audio, you can make it bigger, which means let's actually cut this here and get rid of that. Cut that out. So that way, we're not working with this chunky of a file. So, I don't know why it's not putting the audio back in here. Usually it has to load and it'll put the audio back in here. But this button here is how to make it bigger and smaller so you can more easily cut down to the exact second of audio you want. Another trick is right now when you click this clip here, they are linked together. You can see the linking button here. So if you right click and hit link clips, that unlinks them. Now you can click and deal with them separately. You can move audio back and forth wherever you want, and they're not linked anymore. If you want to link clips, say you had a whole section that you want to keep, you'd highlight the whole section, make sure it's all red, and then you hit link clips, and that will link anything that you have read and keep them together, and you'll deal with them together. So now let's go ahead and just click this as red. Here on video, you can transform, position, rotation angle. That's all kind of, you can zoom in, like you can see all the fish there, and then positions left and right, up and down, zoom in, zoom out, kind of. I'm gonna say if you're gonna do that, it's best to watch the whole clip before you before you move on, so it doesn't, because it will get out of frame. So you can see here, I'm moving it all the way over. It'll get out of frame sometimes. If you want to reset anything in here, you can use the Control Z method, or you can individually hit these reset buttons. And that resets each line here. If you did a bunch of stuff, anchor point, all that stuff, pitch, yaw, rotation angle, you can undo and return to normal each one of these individually, or if you hit this one up here, that resets everything in this box. Cropping, same thing, you click it, you can crop left, crop right, all that kind of stuff. Dynamic zoom, I actually use it quite a bit because it's quick and easy. So if you hit dynamic zoom, I always use linear. What it's going to do is,
Hello, squirrels.
as this plays, it's going to
Well,
slowly
you were gonna
zoom
come
in.
over here and play.
So let's go like this.
Nobody.
So here,
I got.
you can't really tell here, but it slowly
Make it.
zooms out. It starts zoomed in just a little bit and slowly zooms out. And in some shots, it's quick to just click it and then make some shots not just feel static. It feels like it's moving. Here you can change the speed of it. That's kind of difficult to work with. I'm still learning how to do that. Then if we go over to the audio tab, obviously you got volume. That's the only one I really use. It's got quite a bit of stuff, but volume is the only one I use, and I usually use it for music. Now, if you wanted, let's do a transition. Let's cut this. So now that you have a cut here, you can do a transition. So you go over here to your toolbox, hit video transitions, and there's a whole list of them. Let's go RGB splitter. So this one, if you go over here, you can see it dragging. It can give you a preview, but if your computer is not that great at processing, it'll lag quite a bit. So let's just move this, drag it onto where it's going to be. Now, with this, you can obviously move it farther out, so when it transitions,
If I move,
it starts and does it slowly. Or if you move it in, it's obviously going to do it faster.
I'm just giving them exercise.
Right there. And you can zoom in and fine tune that however you want. So let's click it. Let's cut that out. Back up. And that's how you do the transitions. There's tons up here to mess with and play with. Clock wipe. So audio transitions I don't really use. Titles is basically your text, not just titles. And you can also do a preview down here of what the text is going to look like. And you can also change it. So let's go to jitter. No, long title. Let's pick an easy one. Background reveal is kind of cool one, so let's go with that. So you put it wherever you want the text at. Let's go in the beginning, and we'll say squirrels, so you can also extend it out as far as you want. Let's not go that far. Let's put it here. This obviously fades in and fades out. So what I was talking about with linking as well, if you do these three clips here, right click and go to link clips, now it links them. So when you move any of those, it moves the whole thing with it and selects it all with it. So now if you select those three and go to unlink, you can relink these two. And this one's not linked anymore. You can move it separate. So let's go ahead and go up here. You hit video, title, sample. Let's do Skverl. Okay. So now let's see what that looks like. Hit play.
Hello, squirrels.
Showing the background in the text.
Well, you were going to come over here and play. Nobody wants to.
Okay. Let's do a different text. Where let's do like text plus. Oh yeah. So when you get to the end and you see this icon, and you select that green, that's where you can extend it out and back. So I've cut this here. If I cut it at the wrong spot and I figure out here I want a little bit of this in there, you can drag this back here and it'll put the rest of the clip in here. So you can drag it out however far you want and get to the actual spot you want, and then recut it. And then you cut that out, and then you have it exactly where you want. You do that with text as well. That's how long you want it. So we'll go to, let's go to here, video, title, text plus, text, squirrel. Now, it's not showing on the screen because this red head is right here. So you go over to where the text is, so you'll be able to see it. This is what it's going to look like.
Squirrels.
So when you stop on it, you can scroll down here. You can select your font. You can select bold, and you see what it looks like right over there. Open Sans. Do that one. You do size. Woo. Tracking, like line spacing. It's all just stuff and stuff. If you want it in a certain space, you go over here to settings, and it has the same settings as if it's the whole video. So you can zoom in, you can position left, right, up and down, rotation angle. So let's go ahead and reset it. The other thing you can do, and this also works with video. I'll kind of show you that next. So when you're in this screen here, you have this button here. That means right here at this line, it's going to be these settings. So if you go over here, change the settings, you want to zoom in, it should start at those first settings, and then when you hit play,
Hello, squirrels.
it'll eventually end up at the next settings.
Well, you were going to come over here and play.
So you can see it.
Nobody wants to play with me. There's a bunch of trash, but this is
doing what it wants. So if you go over here, let's see, and go, let's get where we can actually see the words. This is also where the snapping tool comes with. You can better scrub. So let's go with zooming in like that. So you should be able to see that easier when you hit play.
Hello, squirrels.
Maybe not. Okay.
Squirrel.
Let's make this initially bigger then. No.
Hello, squirrels. Well, you were going to come over this road. Not.
Well,
hello, squirrels.
that backfired.
Well, you were going to come over here and play.
Either way.
A bunch of minnows.
Resetting this whole thing here also resets both of those presets. I'm still getting used to doing these presets, but that's what these buttons are for. So you can set it to be normal here, like I guess the whole thing normal, and then at the end, I hate not seeing it. It snaps to the end. So let's here. There we go. Let's do upside down. There we go, like that. And I actually should do text a lot less. So we'll see if it sticks.
Hello, squirrels. Well, you were going to come over here and play.
So it changes from the first one
Nobody
to the
wants
last
to play
one.
with me. There's a bunch of trash, but this is.
And that can be used for video too if you want it to be zoomed in, and then by the end of that clip to be regular.
Hello, squirrels.
See,
well,
I'm still messing with it because it didn't work. So I'm either way, I'm still learning, and see now it's showing that. Okay. Let's cut that out. Trying to think what else to do. Got effects where you can drag this on here, so this whole thing will have this effect. That I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to get rid of the effect. So I think once it's on there, Oh, there it is. You can trash the effect and it takes it off. Some of these, I think digital glitch is one that's hard for my computer to actually do.
Hello.
Yeah, so it lags like 5 frames a second, 4.5 frames a second. Let's trash that. That's kind of the basics. Everything's like drag and drop. Now, in order to actually finish your video and edit, let's cut that out. Let's just make this a really short video. Let's cut. So you can drag it. If you drag it up, you can drag these wherever you want. Drag them up here. So let's make this cut down here. Let's make this a really short clip. I don't even know how long it is. Now when you're done editing, you like what you... So you can go to the beginning, you can watch the whole thing, make changes, then you can go to deliver, and this is your export page. So you'll want to name it new test video. This is where the location, obviously you browse, find a location, and let's go just right here, new test video, and you hit save. That saves the location. Render single clip or individual clips. I go to MP4. I leave all that codec alone. You could change your resolution here. This is my presetting. This frame rate, I can't change it because it was already done in the beginning of the project when I added it to the timeline. Now down here, quality, you can choose, best, high, medium, and all that. What I found the best thing to do is hit here and restrict to anywhere from 60 to 90 kilobytes per second is going to give you really good quality. I stick with 8,000, and that gives me good looking videos when I upload in it's like 2.7K upscaled to 4K. That gives me really good quality all around. I leave the rest of it alone, and then once you have all of those set, you hit add to render queue, and that's going to set it over here. Now once over here, you can go over here and you can change, okay, I also want it in MKV. Do your settings and you hit add to render queue, and now it's going to render both of them if you want two different video types. So let's go exit out of that one and do just the MP4 one, and then you go down here, and when you hit render all, it is going to start rendering it. Rendering in progress. So this one's going to take a minute. We'll sit there and go through the video. And this depends on how fast your computer is. I find it easiest to set to render, watch what time it says, set a timer, and walk away, and take a nap or something. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait. Hold on. A couple more seconds. A couple more seconds. Come on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now you have your completed video. So when you go check in wherever your location is, the video is going to be there, and you can do whatever you want with it. Now, if you exit out of the program, when you go back in, loading, more loading, more loading. This is the project we just worked on here. So when you click it, you can hit open, and it'll bring your project back to where you had it at last, which is the rendering page. So you can go back into edit, and you can make changes and do whatever you want, and it will save those changes as well. The other thing I want to show, because my GoPro for some reason only records in left channel audio, So I have to go down here to every clip I put in. I right click and I go to clip attributes. Here you can change the frame rate of that clip, which I don't want to do. Other settings, I go to audio, and right here, audio 1's left. It's only recording left, so it leaves the right channel open. So I'll change this to channel 1, and that'll put the audio from the left channel in the right speaker as well. And that fixes my audio. That's for the most part as far as I've got with it. I'm still learning. There's still a lot more you can do with it. So when I play this, when I change it to both speakers, you can see over here to the right, after the volume, both of those are going to...
This is that road that it...
show that it's in both channels. If it wasn't going to do on both channels, you go to clip attributes to... While it's playing, you can easily see it is in one channel mostly. I don't know why. But clip attributes, 1, okay, play. You can see it's in both channels now.
A bunch.
So here you can do a bunch of other stuff. Lens correction, transform, audio. So I hope that helped. Hope to get you started. There's a lot of other tutorials out there that are more in-depth, but this is how to get started and do all the simple stuff you need to probably just make a video with cutting clips together. If you're going to add pictures or music, you also just drag and drop in there. That's how I do it. The other thing is, these clips here, if you move the folder location, let's see if I can do that real quick. New folder. So if you move the location of the clip, is that the clip? Yeah, there we go. Now it tells me the media is not there anymore. I can't do anything with it because the media has changed locations on the computer itself. So if you take it back out, put it where it's supposed to be, like that, it puts it back. So I found when I'm editing, I put my clips where I want them to be, which is usually on my external hard drive because there's a lot of space on there, and I edit off of that. It does fine as long as you're not doing 4K for me. So I know if you want to come in and make changes, you have to make sure your original media is there in the same place because that's where it's going to look for it at. So I hope this get you started. I did leave a few things out. The one thing I want to add is over here, this here, if you don't have it highlighted, you're not going to have the stuff down here. That's what I did wrong in the first clip. So you click that, leaves those there, and that's why you want to make this bigger so you can easily see the audio better. So you can cut it precisely where you want. You can cut out a cough. I've cut out coughs if it's only a couple frames. Sometimes you don't notice in the video. You can cut out a cough or something like that. The other thing is, if I want to zoom in on this here and actually show you that, this is how I figured out how to do that. So here, I'm explaining. You can change different settings on them. But I want this part zoomed in so you can actually see it better. So now what I've done is I've cut where it opens and starts. You can go to here, and where it ends. Get bigger. So now, this clip here, if you take this and you drag this up here, it creates the clip that is just this red piece. And it shows that right here in these lines. So now, I can take this down here. I put it exactly on top. I unlink them. I get rid of the extra audio. I highlight this top one. And I want just this box here, so I'll go to crop. So I crop left. I crop right. crop the top, and crop the bottom. Now I can zoom in on this. I like to have it not in the way of the original one. And let's go. I'm still not good at these controls, but now let's go over here. When explaining this, you can see better here while having that smaller box there. So we go to the beginning here. This is what it looks like now. You can go to here. You can change different settings on them. See, that looks better. These are the settings I prefer. Video, you can change the height. So now it's harder to see this, but when I zoom in, you can actually see the icons. And this one here is the one I was talking about, where if you click that, it gets rid of the audio. Physically, you can see it. But that's the best way I found of adding a zoomed in version of the same thing on screen without much trouble. Hopefully that helps too. One more thing I want to show. So when you zoom in, this gets kind of small and hard to control. You move it over, and it's hard to control. If you use the middle mouse button right here, you can drag it. That will save you so much, because otherwise this here is not very accurate and you can get frustrated real quick trying to get the exact place you want. Just middle mouse button, scroll back and forth, scroll, so much easier. Life hack. Made this tutorial for a friend, but I decided I'm just going to upload it to one of my channels anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the video.